So I think I found a solution to the problem of what to do with my chickens when I'm in an urban setting and I can't really raise my chickens on pasture. I can't really free range them. I don't have the space to it, and the space that I do have is all garden space that I don't want my chickens destroying. So what can I do to give the chickens the most nutrition, give them a really good, happy, healthy life? Well, I'm gonna bring the pasture to my chickens as I'm about to put all of this cow manure and straw from a friend of mine's farm, and I'm gonna put it all in the chicken run as they're bedding. And I did this as not really as an experiment, but I have a compost area in their run, and I put this stuff in it a few weeks ago, and they turned it into the most beautiful compost I've ever seen. So I'm gonna show you how I do that in this video. So this is a little compost bay area right inside their run, and I just emptied this. This was full of that cow manure, and I just removed all that stuff because they tore it to pieces. And I also had some of that over on this area of their run, and you can see how much I dug. It was about 18 to 24 inches of soil. You can kind of see the line back there on the fence there, where how high the soil was. And I'm actually going to put a lot of this bedding in this back area here, because they really like to have the space to dig through it. And I'm also going to make a new pile over here as well, but I'm going to add it over here so it's all over the floor, so it'll be just like they're on pasture and following the cows, and they're going to be digging through all their poop, and they're going to be finding bugs and worms, and there's also mushrooms in this pile. I'm not sure what kind of mushrooms, but they're in there, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. My chickens actually sleep outside they perch on this compost area and sleep outside. I mean, they're covered from the elements, but they like to sleep out here, even though they have a nice warm coop over there. Hello. What I really love about the chickens is that, specifically with this material that I got, it looks like there's a lot of straw. Maybe they're sunflower stalks, I'm not sure. I know they had a field of sunflowers that they probably mowed down, but it's straw mixed with the manure. And there are some really long pieces of straw, and when you do composting, when there's big long pieces, sometimes that takes longer to break down. But I noticed that when I put that in the chicken run, they just tear all that stuff to pieces, digging through, looking for bugs. And they do a really good job for me to make it a lot faster of a process to break everything down. Now, this cow manure is already aged about 3 months, so I believe that's safe to be used in the garden. But I'm composting it even further to break it down into an even finer material. And I'll show you how fine and beautiful it came out when I pulled all this stuff out of the chicken run. But for now, I'm going to get some more material in there, because yesterday I took a whole bunch of material out to fill up some of my raised beds in our personal garden. So I need to put more bedding in their chicken run, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I just added that first wheelbarrow in there. You can see how much they love digging through this stuff. Now I really need to add more, because I dug so much out of here that they're almost going to be able to dig a hole and burrow their way out of their run, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to put some more in this area too, but I'm going to keep putting some more on this side of their run. You can watch them digging. They love it. So these are 2 compost piles that I've got going right now. I just flipped this one. This one is primarily made of rabbit manure, and it's got a little bit different texture than that one is primarily chicken bedding from the chicken run that I just took out and piled up, and that looks amazing. Really, really fine and looks ready to use now, but I'm gonna let it break down a little bit more. I have some stuff in the middle of the pile that is not fully broken down yet, but looking really, really good. Good job, chickens. And this is all rabbit manure. There's still some pellets, the rabbit poop, that just hasn't broken down yet. And the rabbit manure you could use right away, but I like to compost it a little bit, and I can tell when it's ready when I could reach into the pile and it just smells like soil. Like it just has this earthy smell, like something you smell like after a rain. It's actually raining right now. What's that, Spider-Man? Okay. I just wanted to show these compost piles. We are filling up our beds here in the middle. I just filled this bed, and now I'm filling this bed here, and this soil is homemade compost, and this is from our chicken run. So it's hard to be self-sufficient really if you're not making your own soil. And what better soil than this? This almost looks like a potting mix that you would buy at the store, but we didn't have to buy it. We just kept piling organic material in the chicken run, and they just trimmed it all down and turned it into really, really fine soil. And that's something we could grow a whole ton of basically anything with. And it's a high nitrogen source, which is gonna be good because these two beds, we're planting tomatoes and cucumbers, which need a lot of nitrogen. And as you can see, this bed was filled last year, but so much soil receded and kind of just sunk back down. So we really almost have to refill this bed, and I'm gonna put really, really, really good soil in it that's really, really full of lots of nitrogen and nutrients to bring the soil back to life, so we could grow really, really big and healthy cucumbers and tomatoes in these beds. And I'm really excited to plant, but I'm also really excited because of the soil that we made. I can't believe how beautiful and fine this soil is that our chickens made for us. So I'm gonna fill up this bed and get these planted as soon as possible because we're past the threat of frost here and it's time to grow. And I'm really excited to use this trellis that I just put up this year, and we're gonna utilize it the best way possible to grow a ton of food in just a small square footage here. And my plan here is to grow cucumbers on the inside rows of these beds. Tomatoes are going to be on this part of the bed, on the insides, and I'm going to trellis them up to the top of this and let them grow really, really tall and healthy. And on the inside of the beds, I'm going to do cucumbers. So the cucumbers will grow up and grab onto the trellis on this side. Cucumbers will grow up, and yeah, I'm really excited to see that happen. So my advice to anybody who might live in an area like my situation where they don't have a lot of room to pasture their chickens, or even if you just want to have really good compost but you maybe not allowed to have chickens or any animals, make friends with a local farm or farmer. You're going to benefit from those relationships anyway, but make friends with them, and maybe you could work out some kind of arrangement to get some of their manure or bedding from when they clean out their animal stalls, so that you could build your compost piles even if you live in an area where you might not be able to have those animals, or you don't have the space to have those animals to produce that kind of manure that you need to have really good compost. So try to make those connections and make some new friends.